Hello everyone, welcome back. In the last few lectures, we have discussed about the calculation of various parameters for a Bravis cubic lattice. In that, we have calculated for a simple cubic, body centered cubic and a face centered cubic lattices. In this lecture, we will calculate the parameters for other than a cubic system, that is a hexagonal system. Let's start. As you can see here, this is a hexagonal closed pack system. You can see here, there is an hexagon where 6 atoms are there in the hexagonal corners of the unit cell with 1 atom at the center. You can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are the 6 atoms are at the corners of the hexagonal unit cell with 1 center atom. Similarly, the same layer is also there at the bottom, that means the base of this unit cell. You can see here again 6 number of atoms are there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These 6 atoms are there at the corners of the hexagonal lattice and this is at the center of the base of the hexagon. In between these, there are 3 atoms are there. This is a 1 atom, this is another atom, this is another atom, which forms a triangle. And these 3 atoms are completely inside the body of the unit cell. These atoms are not going to share with any unit cell, they are completely inside. This is a hexagonal closed pack structure. And the parameters for the hexagonal system, that means the Bravis lattice parameters, are A is equal to B but not equal to C. This is the lattice parameters. And the angles between the crystallographic axes are alpha is equal to beta is equal to 90 degrees and gamma is equal to 120 degrees. These are the parameters for Bravis lattice parameters for a hexagonal system. You can see here A is equal to B. For example, this is an atom. This is one axis A and this is another axis A or B, whatever we can say. A is equal to B and this is another C axis. So this is a C. You can see here A is equal to B, both are same. The lattice parameters along the x and y axis, and but not equal to C. C is lengthy. So that is the meaning of A is equal to B, not equal to C. And angles between, here you can see this is a 90 and here the angle between this axis to this axis is again 90. And the angle between this axis and this axis is 120. So alpha is equal to beta is equal to 90. That means the angle between here, for example, let us consider x, y, z. X and z axis is 90 and y and z axis is 90 and the angle between x and y is 120 degrees. Right. This is only a representation of hexagon. But if you see in the real case, the atoms look like this way. You can see all the atoms are in contact with each other. Here you can see this is the first atom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those 6 atoms forms a hexagon with a center atom. This is the center atom, that is this atom. That means the top layer you can see here and then the bottom layer is lying here, the same structure, and the middle layer, the 3 atoms are this layer. That means we can say a hexagonal lattice is a combination of, this is a A-type lattice and again there is a A-type lattice, A-type atoms, and then between there is a B-type. You can see this is a layer, B layer, A layer, because the both layers are same. So A, B, A. So that means this is the A, in between this is a B, this is a A, in between layer is a B, this layer is again A. This is how a hexagonal closed pack structure you can see with real atoms, kind of atoms way. In this, the most important thing is the atoms are in contact with each other in the A layer as well as between A and B layer. Now, let's calculate the coordination number for hexagonal closed pack structure. So, in order to calculate the coordination number means the number of nearest neighbors. That means how many number of atoms are there with equal distances for a particular atom. Let us consider this is a reference atom to find out the coordination number. In order to find out the coordination number, one unit cell is not enough. We also have to imagine one more unit cell in the upside or in the bottom side. Let us imagine one more unit cell, similar hexagon, is lying in the upper side, above this, just above. Then it look like this way. You can see here, this is one layer which we are considering. This is a one layer. This is the hexagon where we are considering this layer, and these three atoms are shown here. This is the three atoms, and above one more hexagon is there. In that hexagon we can have again three atoms. So those three atoms are here. It can be anything. Sometimes we can say this is the A layer, this is the B layer, or A, B. Anything is same because A, B is repeating layers which forms a hexagonal crystal structure. Now, let us consider this is our reference atom. Now, let us find out how many number of atoms are there with equal distance. Since in this picture you can see they are, but in this picture you can see they are all in contact with each other. This is the real picture, this is the representation picture. Now, let's find out. This is the one atom, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That means in this layer there are 6 atoms with a distance A. That means the lattice parameter. So there are 6 atoms in this layer. And in the top layer we have, again they are in contact with each other. So the distance between the two atoms in this layer, the layer between A and B also A. So here also 1, 2, 3. So there are 3 atoms are there. Similarly, in the bottom side there are 3 more atoms are there. So totally 6 plus 3 plus 3, 12. That means the coordination number for hexagonal closed pack structure is 12. This is the coordination number. Next one, let's find out atomic radius. The atomic radius means, see, this is a hexagonal closed pack layer. The same thing is represented here. You can see there is a hexagon, 6 atoms with one center atom. There is a 6 atoms with one center atom. There is a 6 atom with one center atom. In between there are 3 atoms are lying inside the unit cell. Now you can see the atoms are in contact with each other. If the radius of this atom is r and the radius of this atom is r, then the atomic radius is 2r, and also the distance between the two atoms is a. This is lattice parameter a. So we can write 2r is equal to a, then r is equal to a by 2. So we are representing the atomic radius in terms of lattice parameter of the unit cell. So r is equal to a by 2. The next one is nearest neighboring distance. We already found the number of nearest neighbors, 12, with a distance a already, because they are in contact with each other. They are in contact with each other, so the distance is a. So that means 2r is equal to a, then the nearest neighboring distance is 2r. That means the distance from here to here, this is a r, this is a r, the distance between them is r plus r, 2r, which is equal to a. 2r is equal to a. Then the lattice parameter is simply A is equal to 2R. We just rearrange them. If we find 1, then automatically we can rearrange them to find lattice parameter and the atomic radius. The next one is the number of lattice points per unit cell. This is important. The number of lattice points per this is unit cell of the hexagonal system. There are 2 layers are there. Let's consider this is a 1 layer. This is another layer. This is the 1 layer. Now let's find the number of atoms per unit cell in this layer. Then we'll extend to other layers. In this layer, there are 2 types of atoms are there. First type is the atoms which are at the corner, and the second type is the atoms at the center of the face. Now let's find out, this is the atom. The contribution of this atom to this unit cell we are finding out. To imagine, now let us keep this atom can be in contact with, this is already with this hexagonal unit cell. We can place one more hexagonal with this direction, another hexagon in this direction. That means with this face we can have one more hexagon we can attach. You can imagine one more hexagon in this direction, and with this direction we can place another hexagon. So that means this atom is in contact with 1, 2, 3 hexagons in the bottom. Similarly, we can also keep 3 more hexagons on the top side. That means this atom is in contact with 6 hexagonals. So that means each atom is in contact with 6 hexagonal closed pack structures. So that means the contribution of one atom to one hexagon is 1 by 6. 1 by 6th part of the atom will contribute to one hexagon. Now, how many such atoms are there, corner atoms? There are 1, this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 number of atoms are there which are at the corners of the hexagon. So into 6 plus, now let's come to the center atom. Now the center atom can only in contact with hexagons. That is, one is this hexagon, the other one is the above, we can imagine one more hexagon. That means the center atom can contribute 50% to the bottom unit cell, 50% to the top unit cell. So that means percentage. So we will have 1 by 2 which is equal to 3 by 2. So the contribution of this layer is 3 by 2. And the contribution of this one is, this is the first layer, and again second layer, the contribution of this, the 3 atoms are there completely inside the unit cell, so they will not be shared with any unit cell. And the third layer is similar to first layer, this is the same hexagon, so it will also contribute 3 by 2. So the total contributions is 3 by 2, 3 by 2, 3, which is equal to 6. This will give you 3 plus 3, which is equal to 6. That means the number of lattice points per unit cell is 6. Next, the volume occupied by the unit cell. So there are 6 atoms are there per unit cell. So 6 into 4/3 pi r cube. So 6 into 4/3 pi, r we know r is equal to a by 2. Let's write a by 2 whole cube, which we can write 6 into 4/3 pi a cube by 8. Now we can write 2, then 3 to 6 into 6, this will also cancel. So the remaining is pi a cube. So this is the volume occupied by the atoms in the unit cell. That means pi o cube times will be occupied in the hexagonal lattice by the atoms. Now the next one is the volume of the unit cell. In the previous case, we have found that this is a cube, so we can find directly a cube. But this is a hexagonal lattice, so we can't find volume directly like that. So let's see, this is the hexagonal lattice. To find the volume means, let's find out the area of this base, multiply with the height. That shows volume of the unit cell. So that means area of the base of the hexagon multiplied by the height of the unit cell gives us a volume. Now, what is the area of this base? The base look like this way. This is the hexagonal base. Now you can see this base can be divided into 6 triangles, equilateral triangles. The side of each triangle is A. The length of each triangle is A because that is the lattice parameter. Now how many triangles are there in the base? There are 6 triangles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the area of each triangle, 6 into area of each triangle into height of the unit cell gives us the volume of the unit cell. Now let's find out the one triangle multiply with 6 multiply with the height gives us total height. That means, so 6 into area of the triangle. Area of the triangle, the formula is half into base into, this is the base of the triangle into height of the triangle into, this is the height of the unit cell, that is C. So we can write totally 6 times the area of the triangles with the base of the height of the unit cell. So here 6 into the area of the triangle is half into base into height. This is the height of the triangle. So half into base of the triangle is A. That means the length of this triangle, that is A. To find the height of this triangle. The height of this triangle, we know the length from here to here is A. That means from here to here, this will be A by 2. We don't know the height. Let's consider this is the height, H. Now from here, we can write, this is a right angle triangle, so we can apply Pythagoras theorem. Then hypotenuse square A square is equal to the side square H square plus, this is the one more side, A by 2. A square by 4. So that means H square is equal to A square minus A square by 4. So H square is equal to 3A square by 4, then H is equal to root 3A by 2. This is the height of the triangle. So we can write the height of the triangle is root 3A by 2 and multiplied by C, this is the height of the unit cell. So if you see here, this is the area of the base and the multiplied by C gives us the volume. Now let's simplify it. 6 2's, 2 3's, 3 into root 3, A into A square into C by 2. So the volume of the unit cell of the hexagonal system is 3 root 3 A square C by 2. Now, another important thing is, in the hexagonal, we have A is equal to B but not equal to C. And also, the ratio between C by A is root 8 by 3. This is a fixed value. We need to remember C by A is equal to root 8 by 3. Now we know the volume occupied by the atoms in the unit cell and also volume of the unit cell. Let's find out the packing fraction. So the packing fraction is the ratio between the volume occupied by the atoms to the volume of the unit cell. We know that the volume occupied by the atoms in the unit cell, that is pi a cube by The total volume of the unit cell is 3 root 3 A square C by 2. Now let's calculate. Let's put this up. 2 into pi A cube by 3 root 3 A square C. Just I have sent this 2 upside. Now A cube A square will cancel and then rest is A. Let's write 2 pi by 3 root 3 into A by C. Now we know that C by A ratio is root 8 by 3. Then we can write A by C is equal to root 3 by 8. Let's substitute here 2 pi by 3 root 3. A by C is equal to root 3 by 8. Now this root 3 will be cancelled. We can rearrange this. 2 pi into 2 pi by 3 root 8. So we can write root 8 we can 2 pi by 3 into 2 root 2. So we can cancel this 2. Then the rest is pi by 3 root 2. If we calculate this, if we substitute pi and then we get 0.74. That means 74% of the unit cell is being occupied by the atoms. 74% of the space is being occupied by the atoms in the unit cell. If you remember, in the case of face-centered cubic unit cell also, we have 74% filling. So that means when compared with FCC and HCP, both are 74% of atoms are filled. This is the maximum filling of the atoms that is possible in any crystal. So that is the reason why we can say this is a closed pack structure. And you can see this is how the atoms are, and the free space is 26%. This is how you can see the atoms are completely packed in the crystal structure and there are no gaps. And the gaps are only between this little small area, that is of the order of 26%. And the 74% of the unit cell is completely filled by the atoms in the unit cell. So this is the highest packing fraction that we will get it. So this is a closed pack structure. Thank you.